Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. I hope you're having an amazing day regardless of how awesome Bitcoin is performing. Very cool stuff here. Very excited to see what's going on and take a deeper dive. But just generally speaking, not a financial advisor. I love teaching people how to trade. I hope you can learn something here today. And my goal and my passion is to help you become a better trader. So CryptoCache.tech is a site if you want to become a better trader, more consistent, and essentially learn from my trading academy. I also send out signals for every trade that I take. Regards to that fact though, here's the thing with Bitcoin. What we've got so far, and yesterday, of course, we had a pretty strong recovery that got stopped out right around 40,500 as a close approximate, closed above a key level resistance. That was very important, very helpful. However, of course, today NASDAQ opened and gapped down quite significantly. A handful of other, currencies, so to speak, in the traditional market, or stocks, of course, they're on the downtrend and they're downsizing right now. That factors in a lot. If you look at the correlation between NASDAQ and Bitcoin, there's been a pretty strong correlation. Obviously, you can see the last 4 or 5 trading days, we've got 3 red, 1 green, which is yesterday, Monday, and then of course a red here today. We compare that with Bitcoin, very, very similar behavior. We've got these 3 strong red candlesticks, some abysmal trading over the weekend, and then of course the green candle from yesterday and a red today. So keep in mind that the market, the traditional stock market, does play a big factor. It doesn't just increase and or decrease the volume that we see during the trading days and or outside the trading days, but it also influences the overall price direction in a lot of cases. Now, sometimes you'll see it in Bitcoin move independent. It should, in fact, be independent of it, considering its whole purpose and what it's supposed to, its true function, I guess you could say. But that's besides the point. The bottom line is that the market is affecting things right now. So please understand that Bitcoin is exuding weakness because of that, and these momentous trends are oftentimes only a result of things looking okay in the traditional market. Again, not 100% of the fact, but that is something that factors in, and I want you to understand that and be aware of that, because that definitely does play a part. That being said, as long as we don't close today below 39,200, I feel like we'll still have a chance to be able to bounce back and continue higher. We'd still technically be making higher lows on the smaller time frame. But I'm not going to lie to you, it doesn't look great. We have a bearish engulfing candle here, and this is typically an adverse sign to kind of show that there's going to be a reversal to whichever direction it's encompassing. So in other words, this candlestick here is larger than this candlestick. It's completely engulfing it. Therefore, we should expect continuation of the downside because of that. That's the general sense of things. Keep this in mind though, this one-day candlestick has not closed yet, okay? Still very early. In fact, when I covered Bitcoin yesterday, we were at like 39,000. It closed at 40,500. So please try to understand that we could very well see a rally back upwards. This isn't necessarily a firm sign because it hasn't closed yet. But if we do get a candlestick close, just say, right underneath 39,400, that would imply we have a bearish engulfing, and that would essentially, in most cases, push the direction the other way. Again, it's not going to just come dropping like a rock, but it just implies that the overall 24-hour period was completely controlled by the bears, and that would likely imply that they're going to continue to control the market for X amount of days. Right, that's generally the concept. So anyways, just kind of throwing some I guess, standard stuff out there for you so you understand. But let's go ahead and take a look at the traditional things that we want to kind of identify. And it doesn't look great. We're under both moving averages as per usual. Of course, we've been under 42 for some time. We probably will continue to be there. We didn't get the MACD convergence as anticipated based on today's movement. Had today, or if today rather, it's not done yet, if today closes at a higher price point than where we're at presently, then we'll go ahead and see a nice clean recovery. But generally speaking, right now, not looking fantastic in the overall sense of things. That being said, there's really nothing here that we can extract that looks positive. We're under 50 on the RSI, we're under 50-day simple moving average. We just got rejected very, very hard at 40,500, which isn't necessarily a strong rejection when you think about it, because that's, the market is really just shifting downwards overall, so everything is on a downslide for the moment. All right. So generally speaking, that's kind of what we're looking at there, and a lot of that factors in too. Keep in mind, that we got the war, we got the COVID. There's still a lot of stuff that is influencing things right now that they shouldn't really, honestly. That being said, taking a look here at Bitcoin on the 4-hour, we're underneath both moving averages. It was nice to tentatively be above the 50-day SMA, but that really doesn't matter now any longer based on the fact that the price is pushing down hard right now. So this 4-hour candle is roughly about 3.5%, which implies we've got probably a 7 to 15% correction on most altcoins. So keep that in mind. Careful trading altcoins right now. At least if you have a tight stop loss, you might want to loosen that up some because you're going to get stopped out from this nonsensical stuff that's happening. These sharp increases and sharp decreases really only damage a lot of growth in most cases, and very few altcoins right now are flourishing. Okay, we got a few, of course, but those are hit or miss. So generally speaking, once again, not looking great. But a candlestick close today above 39,200 would be helpful, just based on the simple fact that that was a key level support for a little while and essentially a tentative resistance until we broke through there yesterday. So I feel like that could be a range in which we'll see. We also want to take a quick look at the most amount of volume in the last, just say what, this is roughly a month's worth of trading. So in 26 days, we've seen the most volume accumulation at 40,300 as a close approximate. So that kind of tells us that we have potential resistance at that level. Oftentimes volume can work as a resistance and so on with the support as well. So that's why yesterday was a nice candlestick close above that key level resistance. But now that we're back below, it's not really all that fantastic, right? So again, not looking good there either. We lost 50 on the RSI, and the MACD convergence is essentially no longer converging, right? So that was not that long of a momentous trend that should have continued further. Okay, again, a myriad of things are factoring in, but generally speaking, we should have seen a much better continuation here. But once again, if we come down here and essentially bounce, we could still continue to make higher lows and higher highs based off of that, right? So there's still a possibility. We're not in dire straits by any means, but again, not looking fantastic or strong here for the day either. A bounce off 39,200 would be fantastic, though. Just keep that in mind. As long as we don't go lower here than 38,400, then we're going to be in good shape to continue making higher lows. And once again, higher lows on a 1-hour time frame translates into a 4-hour and then the 1 day. Okay, we'll inevitably get that increase based on that sentiment. But for right now, obviously there's no sugarcoating this. It looks more adverse than positive based on today's correction. But once again, you got to keep in mind, the overall market in the traditional sense, the traditional stock market is absolutely influencing things, and we need to kind of just be aware of that. Okay, so again, this is not super healthy here. We've got a really strong decrease, a gap down here from NASDAQ, which again is just something to pay attention to. They don't always directly correlate, but there's oftentimes a very similar type of price movement there. So pay attention just to some other things too as well if you're considering investing. But as per usual, to me personally, 38, 39, 40,000, all good value. Definitely a place in which you might want to consider dollar cost averaging. Okay. That being said, I hope you learned something here today. Sorry it wasn't phenomenal news, but I'll try to cover this again later. I'm actually getting a lot of requests for getting an analysis in the afternoon. So I'll try to task myself to getting an update once the candlestick closes, so we can get kind of better perspective in the afternoon or evenings on this coin here and kind of see what's going on. Because again, Bitcoin controls the market for the most part right now. But a lot of times you can extract a lot better information if you have a 1-day candlestick close instead of right now where we're kind of halfway through that trading cycle. So just so you know, I'll probably be doing that a little bit more frequently here moving forward. I appreciate the requests, of course, as per usual, all your support. We'll look forward to seeing the next video. If you're not currently a community member, CryptoCache.tech is a site, link in the description below. I do look forward to working with you. Have a great rest of your day.